Hello, it's ZLR Gaming here. And UFL Week 2 has passed, and it's time to do my little recap on it. Um, I did notice from this week, uh, compared to last week, I cannot look at the touch, like the scoring drives, other than like this weird looking thing. So I might not be able to get names completely correct anymore with that because for some odd reason it doesn't really show it that much on the app. But I will talk about the scores and some of the player stats from the offense because it kind of I don't know. For some reason, this app is still like under development, so it's like you can only really see offense. But the first game we had was the San Antonio Brahmas and the Memphis Showboats. And if you see in my predictions video, I talk about what happened with destroying. So if you want to check that out, it'll be somewhere up here. But anyway, let's talk about this game. So we had Case Cookus going 17 completions for 31 attempts, 194 yards, one touchdown. Pretty decent game there from him. He also had 58 yards rushing. So who doesn't like some rushing yards there? We had a touchdown from the receiver, Davis. I see it as D Davis. Uh, as like I said, I'm trying to still learn the names of all these players. It's gonna take me a little bit, but I know there was also just a lot of field goals, so it was like, eh. And for the San Antonio side, we had Garbers with 29 completions out of 40 attempts, 287 yards, three touchdowns, and one interception. Uh, Garbers also had 20 yards rushing, which is pretty nice. I think that's Latimer. He had 91 yards, one touchdown, uh, and averaged 11.4 a carry. Um, Kirkland had 53 yards and one touchdown with a average of 7.6. And Stevenson with 103 yards, one touchdown with a average of with an average of 17.2. I don't know what happened there with me trying to speak. I am very sorry. But in total, San Antonio Brahmas, they got the win there. And the next game was the Renegades and the Battlehawks. This one this one was a close one. Only 3 points was the difference at the end of it. Well, I mean the Brahmas was the closer one, but I want to talk I want to talk about that. I want to talk about this game now. So we had AJ McCarron with 248 yards, two touchdowns. With Durant with the running back with 104 yards and one touchdown. Uh, we had, I think that's, I don't know if the E is silent or not, so I'm just going to say it. Atman with 114 yards, 2 touchdowns, 28.5 yards average. That is a pretty good game for a wide receiver there. And for the Arlington side, we had Perez with 21 completions out of 29 attempts, 233 yards, 1 touchdown. And it seemed like also the backup had to go in for 2 plays, I believe. Uh, well, that shows on there at least. And he passed for 4 yards. Um, the rushing leader, Smith, had 9 attempts, 23 yards, and 1 touchdown. And Scott had 1 touchdown. I'm saying all the last names of these guys, by the way. Just like I said, I can't really see the names of them. Peyton, 83 yards with a average of 16.6. Canella with 10 yards, 1 touchdown, with just a 5 yard average. That's really about it for there. But the St. Louis Battlehawks, they won that game. And like I said, it was a pretty good one. And then we go to the Stallions and Panthers. And the Stallions won that one 20-13. And as soon as this app loads, I'll tell you about it. And there we go. And let me just go to the offense thing. And here we go. So we have Perry with 20 completions, 33 attempts, 203 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He also had 25 yards rushing. And Sims was the one with the touchdown while also getting 96 yards receiving, with 32 being the average for the yards. Whew. Talking so much while I'm still kind of down in the dumps is making it a little hard to breathe here. So we had 2 quarterbacks for the Stallions go out. We had Martinez, 8 completions out of 15 attempts for 88 yards, and Matt Corral with 5 completions out of 12 attempts for 53 yards and 1 interception. Person had 14 yards, 1 touchdown. And for wide receivers, Williams had 32 yards with a 10.7 average for the yards. Kane had 30 yards with an average of 10. But other than that, it was kind of a weird one. It was a lot of field goals. A lot of field goals. And for the last game here, we have the Roughnecks and the Defenders. And the Defenders winning this one 23-18 in a pretty good game, actually. This one was, I think, better than most of the games this week. Even though that Brahma's game, like I said, was very close. But whew. Anyway, let me just take a sip of my drink real quick. All right. We had Ta'amu with 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, out with 32 attempts, 16 completed. Harris 34 yards. I like that. Haggins, is it Haggins or Higgins? I don't know. But 29 yards, 1 touchdown while rushing. Pretty nice. And we had Moore McKinney with 29 yards, 1 touchdown. I don't know if that's Cootie. With 40 yards, averaging 13.3. And Rowland had 55 yards with 27.5 being the average. Pretty nice. And the Houston Roughnecks. We had Sinnott with 29 completed passes out of 30 attempts, 221 yards, 1 touchdown. And Garantano, 3 completions out of 8 attempts for 23 yards. So another thing with 2 quarterbacks in the game. Pledger, the running back, had 47 yards. Pretty decent game from him. Hall had 44 yards, averaged 7.3. Merritt had 79 yards, averaged 15.8 per play. Chisholm had 57 yards, 1 touchdown with an average of 19. And that's really about it. A lot of these games were just a lot of field goals this week. But really, I kind of like all these close games. So let's see how they do all next week. But anyway, I'm just gonna get out of here. So I'll see you all in the next video. See you around.